Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Use my over 20 plus years of coaching experience from all over the world. I give you some insight that other pundits don't do, and actually tell you what's really going on and explain it to you better. I will get onto the VAR decision and why they didn't give it. If you haven't watched my VAR conspiracy video that VAR will make the Super League happen, go look at that after. I'll put up there so you can link to it later. But if you're new to the channel, you haven't seen me talk about these free kicks before, we talk about the same thing every single week in the Premier League. Right, there's no point in playing a high line, okay, if your goalkeeper isn't up here. If he is up here, well, this guy can just shoot. The problem with giving people a high line like this is you give them space to run into. Why is that a problem? Well, they want to run into that way because that's where the goal is. Sounds simple, right? Yeah, we know, because it's really dumb playing a high line when they can drop the ball into the space. Well, why do they do it? Because they're really dumb, that's why. So when you've got someone quality on the ball, and there's in the top 6 Premier League sides, there's always someone quality enough on the ball for this to be the wrong decision. Because all you have to do is if someone makes any hesitation, anything goes wrong, and you're punished for it. And that's what happens here. They're all playing the high line, they're all trying to do this, but Arsenal have got this other little thing. What they do is they'll stand offside to run back on, to come back onside again, and negate your whole point. So what it's called is, it's called like a trigger motion. We have different words for it. I have a different words for it than everybody else. I like to call it setting the play in motion. I kind of use an American football term, where you get back onside and then the guy looks to play the free kick. Everyone's offside. As they come onside, look, dunk, they come onside, and then he's triggered to play the free kick. As he's onside, dunk, and then they go, right? And here's where where you get massive problems, because if any one of these Liverpool players doesn't do their job absolutely perfectly, this ball in behind is an easy goal. And that's what happens. Kanate, look, do you see him? He stops. He's still here. He tries to play the offside trap. Doesn't work because I think it's Van Dijk here. Carries on going. So because the central defender cuts back, you can see there's 2 men free here. And that's where the goal comes. Look, all of a sudden, you've got actually 3 men free. I think that's that right back Trent doesn't go with him as well. Now you've got the header. Now this guy's challenging, I don't know, this one of their forwards, whatever his name is, and he looks like he's the one that's made the mistake because he doesn't challenge for the ball. But it's not the case. It's this number 5, Kanate here. He didn't go with his man. So then what happens? This guy comes in to cover. He can't cover because, well, he's too late, and all of a sudden the ball's in the back of the net. From a simple dumb thing where if they had dropped, instead of being on their 18-yard box, if they were just about there, and then when the ball came in, they headed the ball away. Whoa, what's the difference? Think about it logically. You're all here, and you're running towards the goal, right? That's what they're all doing. If you defended it my way, properly, you would all be here, and you'd be running away from the goal. What happens when you run away from the goal defending? 2 things. When you clear the ball, it goes away from the goal, and you're making the space instead of... okay, so how do you try to explain this? This space here... because you're defending on the line here, this is the space that gets bigger to make the offside space bigger. When you're here, the offside space that you've given them becomes smaller because you're running into it, so there's less chance of them being offside because you're running towards that space, closing that space, getting rid of it, and running towards your own goal. It's absolutely maddening that they do this. And I know why they do it, because I'll tell you what happened about 5-6 years ago in coaching circles and in stats. That worked. Because people didn't have good quality ball players and they weren't aware of all the other little idiosyncrasies. And the other reason why it worked is because when all the teams that did work with, the goalkeeper was the one who was basically playing as a sweeper keeper and, stopping that ball coming in there. Now it's just awful. It's just bad football. At the end of the season, you'll see my whole compilation of goals scored from this. I think we're up to 10 goals now scored because people are defending this way in the Premier League. It might be more. But let's get on to that VAR decision. Oh wait, let's just watch the ball going and go. Bullshit, there we go. Right. Here we go. Look, everyone asking for offside because that's what they're trying to play for. None of it works. It's just bad football. Let's get on to the next part. In true Cash fashion, I jump forward, but then I spot something I want to show you. Can you see that's the player there who's not with his man there? Can you see that? That's the mistake. He's gone up back to come forward again and he's messed it right up. There we go. That's the problem. And then this guy here, for Liverpool, he's the one that ends up coming over cover, even though he's got his man. And yeah, it's all a bit of a mess. But there we go. Okay, so this is a clear handball, and I'm going to show you why. Because look where his arm is, and I want you to see the motion of the arm. The motion of the arm scoops the ball towards his body. That's why it's a handball. And also, as well, they're not going to give a handball in this game. If this was the start of the season, this is going to be a handball. But VAR can't afford to do these. Well, they can, but they're not going to. But again, go check out my VAR is going to make the Super League happen conspiracy video. Because I'm telling you right now, everybody that watched this game, I think Arsenal fans, Man United fans, everybody was going, well, that's a Stonewall penalty. I was looking at some of the polls online. It was like 72% to 78% people were saying it's a Stonewall penalty. When you've got that much consensus in football, it's a penalty. Right, so let's have a look at what this arm does. Watch what it does. Dumph as it goes. See it slap the ball? Do we see it slap the ball? He slaps the ball. Let's do that one more time. As it goes up, he slaps the ball. Do you see that? That's me in about 15 seconds. Imagine the VAR booth. They already know. They know it's a penalty straight away. They don't give it because they're trying to create controversy, especially in a big game like this with all the eyeballs. Do you know how many fans now hate VAR even more? Why do we want that to happen, I wonder? That is either I'm right and they're trying to do what they're doing, or they're so incompetent at their job. And I don't believe that they're that incompetent at their job. Because if you're incompetent at your job, stacking shelves or being a car mechanic, you're fired within a week. Their boss will come in the morning and go, oh no, you're okay. Well, so it's not incompetence then. That means that boss agrees with that decision and is completely fine with that. Or it's just blatant cheating. Either way, it's bad all round. Let's just see if we can do that one more time so we can see it slaps the ball back. There we go. Let's get on to the goal. Okay, so this is terrible defending here, and you're going to see why. There's a guy that's got the ball, and apparently it's Mo Salah, and I believe he's got like a ridiculous record where he's scored more goals than like Ronaldo or it's ridiculous, like the amount of games he's played. The guy's a brilliant football player, and I think if he wasn't a Muslim, they would probably give him the a Ballon d'Or. But I think that's another video for another day. He's 1v1 here, right? And now I want you to notice this gap here. So this guy here, look at him. He thinks he's defending well because he's checking out this guy here. Brilliant, well done. If you look at all my other videos, the amount of times I say defenders don't check players and then check the ball. They just stare and look at the ball. He's looking at that player. He's got him on his shoulder there. Bom, 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 he's come in. Look, both of them have pointed. What's my rule in the Premier League? If someone points telling someone to do a job, in about 15 seconds someone's going to score a goal. Both of them are telling him to mark him. Both of them. Right? This is the other point. Think of this clown here. What's this clown thinking? He's telling the front post guy to go and mark the guy behind him. No, mate, that's your player. You need to come across. Why? Because it's in front of you. And also, you can tell the difference in quality. I don't know who this guy is here, but look at the difference where his shoulders are and where he's looking, and this guy's shoulders and where he's looking. That's the difference between this guy really, really good, this guy really, really bad, right? That is the massive difference. So now what I want you to look at is this. Your mate is 1v1 with Mo Salah. What's the problem? Well, because any basic defending 2v1 knows that you've got to take that space away. This guy here has to step in and back up his mate. He has to. He has to come in and stand in this space, into this square. So when Salah cuts in on his left foot, he's already there. He doesn't want Salah to come in, have the space, and then do something. Right? He wants to already be there. So look what happens. Bump, bump, bump. He's pointing. They're both pointing again. Mark that player, mark that player. Well, what are you doing, mate? Look at the body shape again. Do you see what I'm talking about? The shoulders. So important. This guy, done. Good. This guy, no, facing the wrong way still. Remember, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll know how important little things like this are and how many times goals gets conceded because people do dumb things like this. But you're looking at Salah now. He wants to come into this space. This guy should already be here. He should already be there backing up his mate, right? Look, boom, he could have already been there again. He stood there, jostling up and down. For what? Now, I know he thinks in his head that he's marking this player, or he's telling this guy to, and he's trying to mark the middle, but you can't because it's Mo Salah. You've got to get over to him. It's like going, hey, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's 1v1 with my mate. He'll be all right. No, you've got to get out there. It's Lionel Messi, 1v1 with my mate. You've got to get out there. If that's Erling Haaland, you've got to get out there. You can't leave players like Saka. You can't leave Saka 1v1 on the outside and just stand there in the middle not doing anything. Look at him. He just stood there not doing anything. And as the ball comes in, still stood there not doing anything. Doesn't get close to pressure the ball. Still there not doing anything. Ball's in the top corner. That's bad defending from the central defender. All around bad defending from the central defender. Now let's talk about why the central defender does that. Okay, so let's go back here. If you play on my team, and I have a couple of rules with central defenders, you don't go past the posts here. So you stay centre. Now, I also have another rule, is when stuff like this happens, he needs to go over, and the new centre-back whoever it is, left-back, defensive midfielder, comes in and covers, and I'm explaining this so poorly. So you've got two centre-backs, 1 and 2. 2 goes out wide, 1 stays in the middle and goes where 2 normally would be. 2 would normally be on this post, bump, okay, and 1 would be here. So we'd have 1 here and we'd have 2 here. Now they swap, he pushes on, and now this guy goes over and covers for him, and then you get somebody else to come in and fill in on the back post. Because if you don't, you expose yourself here very, very quickly when you've got a competent player on the ball. Hopefully that makes some sense to you, but if it doesn't, let me know. And I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.